WUSA 9 News at 5, and we are also getting you ready for the first and what could be the only debate in Virginia's historic governor's race. So thank you for joining us on WUSA 9 and streaming on WUSA 9 Plus. I'm Leslie Foster.
And I'm Lorenzo Hall. For the first time, two women are vying for the top job in the Commonwealth. Here are the candidates: Republican Winsome Earle-Sears and Democrat Abigail Spanberger. So in just about 2 hours, they will face off in their first debate at Norfolk State University.
All right, so WUSA 9 has the team coverage you've come to expect for stories as big as this one. Matthew Torres is speaking with both candidates about one of the key issues on voters' minds, that's education. Yeah, but before we hear from them, we want to hear from you, the voter. Our Marcella Robertson is live at Norfolk, ahead of tonight's debate. Yeah, Marcella, we know you've been talking with people about what's drawing them to the polls. What are they telling you?
Yeah, good evening to you both. A lot of issues important to voters. We know that next month history will be made either way when Virginia elects the first woman to serve as governor in the Commonwealth. And if you look at some of the most recent polls leading into tonight's debate, leading up to the election, it is really the economy that is number one, the number one most important issue for voters, just the cost of everyday living. So we can likely hear much of the focus tonight focusing around the economy. Experts that I've been speaking with, political analysts, say obviously that'll be much of the focus, but also that we can expect to see some of those polarizing issues, transgender bathroom policies, some of the federal layoffs that have impacted Virginians, that we can also expect tonight. Some of those issues that really get voters worked up and emotional. Take a listen.
With less than a month before Election Day, Virginia voters will get their first side-by-side look at the candidates for governor at tonight's debate.
On the Republican side, there's no question that the center of the discussion will be Jay Jones. Secondary will be the trans issue that Winsome Earle-Sears has stressed so much in the campaign. On the Democratic side, it's Trump, 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 prices, 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 jobs, 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 all related to Trump's policies.
We asked voters in Hampton Roads what issues are top of mind for them, and for most, it was cost of living.
On the economy, I see on the commercials a lot of distractions. Meanwhile, our pockets are getting squeezed.
I don't know where they said that the prices were going down, but they have not gone down.
Cost of living, and it seems like it's obviously going higher while, wages remain the same.
Healthcare.
Definitely healthcare. What is the state specifically set up to do or willing to do specifically for Virginia residents on the healthcare, knowing what's happening right now, with this administration and the healthcare.
Experts say expect the debate to also focus on controversial topics like transgender bathroom policies in schools and the mass layoffs that have affected federal workers in the Commonwealth, issues that stir up voters' emotions.
Yes, they are concerned about the economy and immigration, and we could do a whole list of big issues, but most of them don't vote on that. They vote on whatever concerns are raised that get their adrenaline pumping.
The most recent polls heading into tonight's debate show Democrat Abigail Spanberger with a double-digit lead over her Republican opponent, Winsome Earle-Sears. Experts say this debate likely won't move the needle much.
This debate will only shape the next month if a terrible mistake is made by one or both candidates. You will see it on television in advertisements about 50 times a day.
And guys, important to note too that this debate happening tonight is in the middle of a government shutdown. So experts say that we can expect that topic to come up. We know that Virginia has close to 200,000 federal employees that have not only been impacted by this shutdown, but those mass layoffs from the Trump administration over the last 9 to 10 months. So what experts say is what we should be looking out for on that front is whether or not either candidate will stray from their party's stance on the shutdown, and if we'll hear the word compromise coming from either of those candidates tonight. Again, that debate gets underway in less than 2 hours here on Norfolk State University's campus at 7 o'clock. Coming up in just about 30 minutes, we'll have much more analysis from some political experts talking about what this means, this election, this debate means on a national stage, and what success looks like for either candidate coming up. Back to you guys.
Yes, that'll be the first time we're hearing from those two candidates at length as well, so we're looking forward to that. Marcella,
Sure.
thank you. And our team coverage continues now with our Matthew Torres joining us now in the studio.
And Matthew, we know that school bathroom and locker room policies for transgender students will also be a big topic. How have the candidates been addressing this?
Well, so Leslie, when it comes to the school bathroom policy controversy, Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earle-Sears is the most vocal and comfortable. Republicans have seized on opportunities to target school policies in Northern Virginia, and these policies allow students to use facilities based on their gender identity and not their sex assigned at birth. School districts are facing threats of losing federal funding if they refuse to reverse the policies. GOP supporters say this is a big issue for them. Winsome Earle-Sears says this goes against parents' beliefs and rights.
How did we get here? You know, the rogue nations of the world don't care about that. The rogue nations of the world are making sure that their children are well educated for the future. We need to have that here, and we need school boards that are responsive to the parents, not dividing the parents' parental responsibility against what the school board wants.
This topic is likely on the bottom of the list for Democrat opponent Abigail Spanberger, but a reminder that Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin won a purple state, largely on school issues. We should expect to hear where she stands on these policies tonight. And when she was last in Fairfax County, Spanberger avoided answering if she supports the bathroom policies. Instead, she used it to target the Trump administration.
But ultimately, the real impact here is, once again, it is the Trump administration taking dollars away from Virginia. Threatening education dollars to our public schools is an attack on Virginia's kids. It's an attack on our economy. It's an attack on Virginians.
School systems, including Fairfax County, are appealing the U.S. Department of Education's decision that would withhold millions of dollars in federal funding. They claim it could cut services for students. Meanwhile, the federal government argues the policies violate Title IX laws. Leslie?
Yeah, well, candidate Spanberger may be pressed on that, and she may have to give a more direct answer tonight. We'll see what happens there, Matthew. Thank you.